Hey, what's up guys? This is Jack, and today I'm going to show you just this really simple maintenance kit with some cool things you can make, like needle cases that are really easy to make if you have the material in your area. So I'm going to show you guys that and talk about it. Maintenance of gear is really important, and thinking about how easy it is to repair gear when you're purchasing a piece of gear, like if that were to break, if that were to tear, if that were to rip, how easy is it to repair it so it's functional, or it brings its functionality level back up again. Also, learning how to hand sew I think is really important. Um, Things like making knapsacks when you're out in the woods, or simple caps like that, like a wool hat. You really need to know how to hand sew, and all it takes is just practice, and you'll learn the little tips and tricks of how to do it, what not to do, things like that. It just takes practice and patience. Patience is really important when you're hand sewing. But I really think that's an important skill to learn, because obviously there's not going to be sewing machines out in the bush, and gear maintenance is really important, clothing maintenance, things like that. And making things from scratch as well is really fun. It's really rewarding when you're done with it. So recommend you guys try and do things like that. Alright guys, so here's the pouch. Just a simple oilskin pouch that I made with a leather string to tie it off. And I'll lay the contents out and then we'll talk about them. Alright, so this is what was in the pouch. There's the pouch, that as well. Obviously, there's a lot of different things you could put in this pouch for maintenance stuff. I could switch to this out for something else, like you could just carry some fat with you. If you processed some fresh game recently, this is just a container full of oil. You could carry some different kind of thread, maybe linen, or a more of a modern sharpening stone, like a whetstone or a rod, as well as a fixed awl with you, or a thimble, or buttons, or whatever you want. But this is just a really basic one. At minimum, all I do is I throw this in my kit. This holds my needles and my clothespins, and then I have the outside wrapped with sinew. This is made out of river cane. I'll show you that in a second. And then for whatever thread I need, I would just use from my bank line that I would carry, process that down into something thinner, or just make cordage if I had to do that. But obviously I've got some thread here, and then I've got some hemp string here. I'd carry more of this usually, and I like doing that for the larger projects, like this sweater I made. So yeah, but this needle case is really simple. It's just made out of river cane. It just has the top on there. There's 3 different kinds of needles in here, and clothespins. Got this kind of large needle. I've got this long thin one. That's what I'd usually use like the thread for, or if I was going through oilcloth or something like that. And then this is a sail needle. If I had to pick one needle, I'd pick this one. This one's really heavy duty. It's probably not going to break. These ones are more likely to break. And then the clothespins, these are good for first aid applications. You can make fishing hooks out of them, but as well as keeping whatever you're sewing, your project straight in line, so that you don't get off straightness as you sew, say, up an edge. So those are useful. So all of that fits right in here. And then again, the outside is wrapped with artificial sinew just for convenience, and then that is some thread that I can use as well for sewing. This is really easy to make. You just taper that. Basically, you just cut a piece with a node at the end, find another piece with a node, taper it down so that it fits just by friction into it. So this tin is also just full of fix and wax, which is just beeswax and oils. That's good for finishing wood items, maintaining wooden handles, and waxing thread, which is really useful when you're sewing because the thread will bunch up a lot and it'll happen a lot less if you wax it. Now this sharpening stone I just found. This is basalt, I believe, and it's pretty flat on this side, which is how I use it. Really smooth, fine-grained stone. And then the other piece of this kit for my cutting tool maintenance would be my belt as a strap. And again, obviously, you could carry whatever you want. This is just more, natural. I just found this. I could carry like a diamond rod if I wanted to. And then this, just a little bit of olive oil for blade maintenance, things like that. This is just a cloth for wiping the oil on or scrubbing, things like that. You could also combine this kit with, say, some soap or apple cider vinegar for cleaning your dishes, but you can always just mix water and white ashes to make lye soap, pretty quick and dirty. So you can just do that as well. And then you can, I also would recommend awls. Awls are really useful, especially if you want to get really precise with your sewing. You can buy leather awls for leather work they have like 4 different spikes on one tool in even rows. So you take that and you punch it, and then you bring it over and you punch it again. Those are good awls, or you can just have the single awl. Single awl works fine too, just for the woodsman. And this pocket knife right here, which is actually like a sailor's knife. This spike is called a marline spike, and this is used for untying knots on ships and also splicing rope together. But this would make a good awl as well, especially if you sharpened it even more, but it's pretty sharp. And then obviously it's got the blade on that end. So I have this in my pocket, and then these would be in my kit. So this is just a simple maintenance kit that you can take with you, or something similar to like this. The most important part of this kit, though, like I said, is this, because it's just really easy to make, and this is really all you need if you're carrying cordage with you that you can break down into smaller stuff to sew with. If you just make one of these, then you'll have a needle case, and really all you need is one needle, but like you can lose them, you can break them, so I recommend carrying a few. But yeah, I hope this gives you some ideas. But there's tons of different variations of this kit, guys. It's all up to your personal liking, and these are just some of the things that I take out. I'd love for you guys to give me tips and other things like that about things to that you can add, or just about gear maintenance in general if you guys want to. I always love like feedback and just trying to learn together. But yeah, this is just some of the stuff that I might take out. Maybe not all of the exact contents, except I always will have the needle kit, some sort of fix and wax in my kit, and then cordage that's capable of being used for sewing applications and things like that. But yeah, so it's all up to your personal preference, so just remember that, guys.